Hello, everybody. It's Todd Van Horn, the Director of Education at Real Estate Educators, welcoming you to our Real Estate Educators YouTube channel. We're going to be doing a lot here on this YouTube channel as far as getting you prepped and ready for your real estate tests as they come up. First of all, you got to pass two classes, right? You got to pass fundamentals, you got to pass practice. Fundamentals is going to be covered in your first 12 units of your Dearborn textbook that we use at Real Estate Educators. If you're from another school, you may not be familiar with this book, but the content you're going to be able to cover is still going to be good for whatever you might, if you might be studying for your own test, maybe an online test course, or maybe for your state and national exam, which is hopefully this is the purpose of this, right? Is to get it out there so that you guys can pass the exams and help everybody out along the way. That's what we want. So, that's the goal, is to, provide some content for you, give you some ideas about some of the things that are going to be asked, not only about each one of the units, but that you could see later on a final for a fundamentals or a practice, because we're going to be doing videos with those as well. And also I'm going to be creating some practice test items that'll cover fundamentals and also cover practice. So for right now, I hope to build out this library to having 22 unit tests to go over. I know, we are in a process of doing that. And then once those are done, to have some other things to, enhance your learning along the way. So again, stick with us here at Real Estate Educators. We are here to try to help you as best as possible. And it's not just for right now for your pre-licensed classes, but we also have continuing ed classes and also broker level classes here at Real Estate Educators also. So we are your go-to real estate school here in the state of Pennsylvania that'll carry you through the beginning of your license all the way through your broker's license when you get into management or whatever you may want to take it for, maybe as a team leader. So these will all be able to enhance your knowledge and your understanding about the content. My belief as an educator is that the more time you have to interpret what you're reading, to try to understand what you're reading in different modes. You're reading it, you're looking at, but now you get a chance to do this YouTube channel with these videos to watch to see how well are you doing, how well do you understand this stuff. It will help you along the way. And I always say one of the best things I think you can do is to make flashcards. Those index cards, make some flashcards. I think it's a great way to learn the definitions, to learn the verbiage, to learn all those acronyms you guys are going to be learning. Do some flashcards. Do yourself a favor and start making some flashcards if you haven't already. But again, this is going to be the first part of the fundamental series of unit tests. So this one's just a little bit longer because we just go over and explain a little bit. When we do the next units after, they're all going to be a little quicker because they're going to be 10 questions. So we have 10 questions built on each one of the units that we're going to be able to go over and help you provide some studying along the way for you to do better. So let me get through and let me do my share of my content with you here and get my PowerPoint up and get this party started here. So we're going to go through, and here it is. We're going to talk about unit one. And before we get into unit one, just to give you a little overview on the format of this, is basically make sure you have some paper with you and a pen to write down your answers, record your answers. I'm going to be reading the question to you. I'm going to give you 4 answer choices. I would suggest you could stop your video. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds after each question and then give you the answer. So if you need more than 10 seconds, stop your video. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on moving here to kind of keep it, hopefully in a quick fashion. When you go to score your test, okay, you're going to have 10 questions. If you get an 8, 9, or 10, you've done really well. 80% or better, that's good. Just go back through and review those couple of things you might have gotten wrong. If you got an 80 or one that you got wrong as a 90. But if you got something 70 or lower, that's where you probably want to think about maybe going back and rereading the unit for better understanding. You should not be getting anything lower than like a 70 or 80 just by going through and reading a unit. If it's something that's specific, you're really missing, you're not understanding, go back and reread. I know sometimes when you read, you don't always read for comprehension. You read to get it done. All right. That's as an educator for my whole life, I will tell you that's one of the best things I've ever told students is, I don't care whether you're a child student or an adult student. The thing is, don't just read to get it done. That's not going to help you. If you just go, okay, I got it read, but you have no idea what you just read, that's not helping you. So you want to read for comprehension, go back, reread the section and make sure you know what text you're reading. All right. In Unit 1, the unit name is Real Property and the Law. There are some learning objectives for each one of the units that you're going to see come up along the way that you should be able to do when you get done reading the unit. So these 3 items, the 3 objectives that you should have, are identify the rights that convey with ownership of real property and the characteristics of real estate, describing the difference between real and personal property, and you should be able to discuss the types of law that affect real estate. Now, your instructors, as you go through these classes, they're going to be trying to give you the big ticket items. But again, through these quizzes, you're going to be able to take a look at some of the smaller components in the units that your instructors may not be able to have time to go over with you. So, but you're still on the hook for knowing them, because that book is a big book. You know, you got 700 and some pages in there. You got to learn everything that's in the book to the best of your ability. But again, how do you do that? You do it in little chunks. You do it 1 unit at a time. And that's why they have it split up into 2 classes. So you can do it 12 units at a time, basically. And then in practice, you got units 13 through 22. So there's a lot here to kind of, dive into. This is on editions 14 and 15 for your, real estate purposes. This should be able to help you out here. So let's get started on the first question. The first question, boom, right out the gate. Land is best described as what? Indestructible, a depreciating asset, immune to supply and demand, or secondary to real property rights? What do you think the best way to describe land is? Answer is number 1, it's indestructible. That's your answer. It can be best described as indestructible. Let's look at question number 2. Which of the following is personal property? Is it the wood-burning fireplace, the bathtub, the awning, or patio furniture? Which one is personal property? Okay, make sure you know those differences between the types of property. So here we go. Answer for number 2 is number 4. It's patio furniture is the one that's being categorized there as personal property. Question number 3. Real property becomes personal property through which one of these? Is it through severance, through attachment, through purchase, or through hypothecation? Answer for number 3 is 1. Severance is a process by which real property becomes personal property. The answer is 1. Number 4, question 4. All of the following are considered real estate except which one? So 3 are real estate, 1 is not real estate. Which one is not real estate? Number 1, farm equipment. Number 2, fences. Number 3, growing trees. Number 4, buildings. Which one? All the following are considered real estate. Which one's not? What's the exception? The exception for question number 4, the answer is 1. It's farm equipment. That's the one that's not considered to be real estate. Question number 5. Which of the following legal areas is least relevant to real estate agents? I mean, all these laws are important, you're going to see here, but one is just not as important as the other ones. Contract law, environmental law, land use and zoning laws, or corporate and business law. Which one is the least relevant to us as real estate agents? Answer for question 5. The answer is 4. Corporate and business law is least legally relevant to real estate agents. Corporate and business law. Question number 6. After becoming licensed, real estate agents must do what? Number 1, provide letters of support from their clients. Number 2, complete continuing education courses. Number 3, show evidence of completing 12 transactions annually. Number 4, retake the licensing exam every 3 years. What do you think? I kind of alluded to this earlier in my promo when I talked to you about what we do at Real Estate Educators. We are here to supply learning for life for you in the form of pre-licensing, continuing education, and broker classes. Yes, the answer is number 2, continuing education courses. It was what all the real estate agents must complete. And when do you need to complete it? This is something you need to know for your test. you must complete 14 hours by May 31st of every even numbered year. It's good to know. Good information to know. May 31st of every even numbered year, 14 hours have to be completed. Question number 7. Who can obtain aviation easements around airports? Is it local governments, federal aviation authorities, no one as air rights extend indefinitely, or airlines? Answer for number 7 is 1. Local governments are the only ones that can obtain aviation easements around the airports. Local governments. Question number 8. Real estate includes natural land components and trade fixtures, ownership rights, patents, permanent man-made structures. Real estate includes natural land components and what else? The other part to real estate is number 4, permanent man-made structures are the other part to that. That's what makes up real estate, that and natural land components. Question number 9. A property owner sells mineral rights to an exploration company. After the sale, which of these rights does the owner no longer own? Is it the surface rights, the air rights, the subsurface rights, or is it a combination on number 4 of both the air and the subsurface rights? So the owner sells his mineral rights. What does he no longer own? If you know what selling mineral rights actually does, then you'll know that he no longer owns number 3, the subsurface rights, the stuff under the ground. Okay, oil, gas, minerals, whatever, he no longer owns any of those items because he no longer owns the subsurface rights. He sold them off, he leased them off, whatever it may be. Question number 10, last one in our first unit. A landlord leases store space to a restaurant tenant who installs ovens, booths, and counters. When do these items, if ever, become real property? Is it at the end of the lease? Is it when and if the tenant fails to pay rent? Is it when the lease begins? Or never? They never become real property. What do you think the answer here for number 10 is? Answer is number 1. At the end of the lease is when they become real property, at the end of the lease. And the answer is number 1. So total all your questions up, see what you got on your answers. Hopefully you got an 8, 9, or 10, an 80, a 90, or 100. That would be great. If you got something less than an 80%, then it might be time to go back and reread Unit 1 to make sure that you have a thorough understanding of it. So I want to thank you for watching, and this Unit 1, and our first video for the fundamentals unit. If you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to this channel, Real Estate Educators, so that you can be notified when we upload any new videos, because again, they're going to be dropping every now and then. I'm going to be trying to create different things, all the way through here, and keep your learning going. I always want to make sure you have a chance to learn as much as you possibly can. We want to prepare you as best we can for your whether it's your quizzes that you're having in your classes, or whether it's your unit tests, or your fundamentals final, whatever it is, or your state and your national exams. Because I know some of you are going to come back and rewatch these to get yourself ready for your state and national exam. So yes, you can do this. So yes, definitely subscribe to the channel. And again, being the Director of Education here at Real Estate Educators, Todd Van Horn, signing off. And again, thanking you for being here with us today. Thank you so very, very much. Have a good day.